Welcome to yoga. The practice of mindfulness can help us to restore feelings of calm and peacefulness despite challenging circumstances. So if you are feeling stressed, uncertain, or anxious, I invite you to join me in this practice. Mindfulness is the practice of non-judgmental awareness in this very present moment. So in our yoga class, we'll begin with breathing and meditation to help direct our minds towards this moment. And we will combine that with movement, making our practice a meditation in motion. So I invite you to begin in a seated position. And if you prefer to lie down or to sit in a chair, you're welcome to do so. So begin by setting yourself up comfortably. And if you're sitting, find a way to sit tall and comfortably. So getting settled into your space, and either close the eyes or gaze very softly down towards the floor so that the eyes are just barely open. And just begin by checking in and noticing how you are feeling in this moment. Noticing without judgment. Being aware of your body, mind, and breath. And now guide your attention to the parts of your body that are in contact with your mat. Feeling grounded to the earth beneath you. Sensing your connection to the earth. And inviting this awareness to bring the mind to stillness. Allowing the parts of your body that are in contact with the mat to sink deeper towards the earth. Lengthening through your spine, relaxing the shoulders. Keeping the head and neck in line with the spine, and allow the belly to remain soft and relaxed, allowing for a full, deep, and easy breath. Breathe in and out through the nose. And begin to pay attention to the breath, noticing if the breath feels deep or shallow. Noticing where in your body you sense the movement of the breath. Just noticing without changing, without judgment. Now beginning to control the breath. On each inhalation, feel the belly gently expand as the lungs fill. And as you exhale, emptying the lungs and drawing the navel towards the spine. Inviting the mind to focus on the breath and the sensations in the body as you breathe. And now noticing the length of the inhalation compared to the exhalation. Counting the length of the breath as you breathe in, and counting the length of the breath as you breathe out. And now making the breaths equal. So counting the length of your inhalation, and then counting the length of the exhalation, making each breath equal. Take a few more rounds of inhaling and exhaling for an equal length, and then we'll move into an extended exhalation breath, which will help to promote feelings of relaxation and calm. One more natural breath in and out. And now we'll inhale for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 8 with a natural breath in between. And if exhaling for 8 feels like just a little too much, you could try exhaling for 5 or 6, and then try gently making the exhalation longer with each round. So breath in and out. And now inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. Exhale. Continue on your own count. And on your next exhalation, letting go of the counting, letting go of the extended exhalation breath, and breathe naturally in and out through your nose at your own pace. Noticing and receiving the effects of the extended exhalation breath. Notice if anything has shifted in the body, mind, and breath. And throughout our practice, I encourage you to invite the mind to this present moment, momentarily putting aside thoughts of the past without racing into the future. But bringing your mind right to where your body is on your mat. If any time the mind wanders and becomes distracted by internal or external events, gently encourage your mind back to this moment by returning to your breath without judgment again and again. And now if you are lying down or sitting on a chair or sitting on blocks, put them aside and come to sit on the yoga mat with your legs extended, hands resting by your sides, sitting tall. Extending the legs out in front of you. And begin to flex and point the feet. Loosening up the ankles and the legs and releasing any tension or tightness that may have accumulated while sitting. And now bring the feet a little bit wider than hips width apart and begin to circle from the ankles, drawing the big toes towards one another and then away. Keep breathing naturally in and out through the nose. And now reversing and circle your feet in the other direction. And circle around twice more. And now give the knees a little bounce, shaking out the legs, and roll the feet from side to side. And now come to a cross-legged seated position. Sitting tall with the hands resting on the knees and begin to circle the torso. Find a way to coordinate the breath with the movement. You're welcome to keep a soft gaze or allow the eyes to close. Beginning to loosen up your spine. Again, encourage the mind to notice the sensations in the body. Focusing on the breath and movement to bring the mind to present. And now pause here and reverse. And you could feel free to experiment with making the circles larger or smaller. You're welcome to move slower or quicker, allowing your body to guide you. And now begin to make the circles a little slower and a little smaller. And finding your way back to stillness. And now moving to the shoulders. And as you inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ears. And then as you exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. And moving with the breath, inhaling as the shoulders lift and exhaling as you roll the shoulders back and down, releasing any tension or tightness that may have accumulated here. And circling the shoulders once more. And now on your next inhalation, making fists with the hands, squeezing the arms, tightening the shoulders up towards the ears. We'll draw breath in and hold it for a moment, and then we'll exhale through an open mouth. So inhaling, breathe in, hold the breath. Exhale through an open mouth, releasing a little sound if you like. Relaxing the arms. And again, inhaling, squeezing the arms, squeezing the shoulders, and squeezing the face up tight like a prune. And exhale, letting go. And once more, tightening the arms, the hands, shoulders, squeezing the face. And exhaling, softening and letting go. And then moving to the head and neck. So arms are relaxed by your sides, palms to the floor. Exhaling, dropping the chin to the chest, lengthening through the back of the neck. And on your inhalation, rolling one ear towards the same shoulder, lengthening the opposite side of the neck. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Inhaling, rolling the head to the other shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And continue to slowly move the head from side to side, tracing half circles with the chin. Moving once more to each side. And returning the chin to the chest, inhaling, lifting the head back upright to a neutral position. Extend the legs once again, give them a little shake to release. And return to a cross-legged position, sitting tall with the arms resting by your sides. Inhaling as you lift one arm overhead and exhale, stretching over to the side. And then inhale, lifting back to center. Exhale as you lower that arm down. Inhale, lifting the opposite arm. Exhale, reaching over. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower that arm down. And continue to move from side to side with the breath. Inhaling as you lift the arm and exhaling as you reach over. Again, coordinating breath with movement. Encouraging the mind to focus on the breath and the sensations as you move. And now the next time you reach over to whichever side you're heading towards, holding here. And the hand that's on the floor could slide a little further away. Perhaps drop the elbow down to the mat. Keep both hips level. Lengthen through both sides of the torso, keeping the chest lifted and opening the chest towards the sky. And now circling the arm around from the shoulder. And you can make these circles large or small, exploring your own range of movement. And now pause to reverse and move the circles in the opposite direction. And circling the arm around once more. And then reaching the arm either overhead or stretching the arm behind you. Positioning the arm in a place where you could open the chest and shoulder. And breathe. And now bringing the hand to the back of your head. Draw breath in, and then as you exhale, lowering that elbow down towards the knee. Inhale, opening the chest up towards the sky. Again, exhale, lowering the chest towards the knee, twisting through the spine, and then inhaling as you lift. Moving back and forth with the breath. And the next time you lift the spine, releasing this movement, extending the arm. If you like, moving a little bit deeper into the side stretch. Moving without force or strain. Finding a comfortable stretch. One more breath here. Now pressing the hand into the earth, navel to the spine. Inhale as you slowly lift the torso back to center. And then exhaling, relaxing both arms by your sides. Close the eyes or gaze softly. Take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. Noticing how one side of the body feels in relation to the other. And now preparing for the opposite side. Inhaling as you lift the opposite arm overhead, and then exhale, stretching over to the side. The hand that's on the floor can slide a little further away. You could drop onto the elbow or just keep the palm on the floor as you prefer. Keep both hips level, lengthen through the torso. Lift the chest towards the sky. Keep the head and neck in line with the spine. And move the shoulders down the back. Reach the torso over to a place where you could comfortably hold without strain. And now begin to circle the arm from the shoulder. Again, making the circles large or small as you prefer. And now pause here and reverse and circle your arm in the other direction. And circle the arm around once more. And now either holding the arm overhead, reaching the arm behind you. Find a place where you could comfortably open the chest, the shoulder, and the arm. Keep breathing. And now bringing the hand to the back of the head, bending the elbow. Exhale as you lower the chest down towards the knee, twisting through your spine. And then inhaling, lifting, and opening the chest to the sky. And exhaling, diving down, bringing the chest towards the knee. Inhale as you lift through the torso, gazing upward, and move back and forth at the pace of your own breath. And moving once more in each direction. And inhaling, lifting the chest and holding here. And now release the arm overhead. And if you like, moving a little deeper into the side stretch. Finding a place that feels comfortable. Keep breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Tune into sensation. And one more full breath here. And now pressing the hand into the floor, navel to spine. Inhale as you slowly make your way back to center. And then exhaling, releasing the arms down by the sides. Close the eyes or gaze softly. Notice and receive. And be aware of where your mind is. And if you notice the mind wandering away, gently invite the mind back to the body by focusing on the breath. And now bringing the hands to the mat in front of you and lifting up onto hands and knees, making your way into a table position. In table, you're welcome to either rest on the forearms, fists, or the palms of the hands. If you're on the palms, wrists are underneath the shoulders with the fingers spread wide, pressing into each fingertip and knuckle, keeping a soft bend in the elbows. Lengthen through the spine, extend the tailbone and the crown of the head away from one another. Run through the chest and move the shoulders down the back. Moving now into cat and dog. Inhaling as you lift the tailbone, arching the back, opening the chest and gazing upward. Exhaling, draw the tailbone under, round the spine and move the chin towards the chest. Inhaling, arching into dog. Exhaling, round into cat. Continue to move back and forth with the breath. And moving once more in each direction. And return to a neutral table position. And from here, we'll move into a puppy stretch. Sliding the arms forward, lower the forehead or chest to the mat, keeping the hips lifted. You're welcome to rest the forehead on the mat, on a block, or you could allow the head to hover. On your next inhalation, lifting up, returning to table position onto the hands and knees. And now extend your right leg back, bringing the ball of the foot to the mat and giving the leg a little shake, releasing any tension. And now pressing up through the heel and rocking forward and back. Coming to hold, pressing out through the heel. Keeping the spine long, head and neck remain in line with the spine. Stretching through the leg, noticing the sensations. On your next inhalation, lift the leg so the heel is extended from the hip, and now circle the foot at the ankle. Circling in one direction and then reverse, circling in the other direction. Press out through the sole of the foot. We'll prepare to ease into a balance. Drawing the navel towards the spine, gaze at the floor just ahead of your mat. Come onto the fingertips of your left hand and walk the left hand towards the front of your mat and then lifting the arm so it is in line with the shoulder, thumb pointing upward. Reach long through the fingertips, press out through the sole of the foot. Breathe deeply in and out through the nose. And you're always welcome to take a break, come in and out of the pose. You could lower the hand down to the mat. You could stay here. If you'd like to try a variation, you have the option to bend the back knee and take hold of the ankle, pressing the foot up and giving a stretch to the thigh. Choose the option that works for you, keeping the breath flowing, keeping your eyes gazing. Keep your gaze fixed on a focal point on the floor ahead of you to help you to balance. And if you've taken hold of the foot behind you, releasing, extending the arm and leg long once again. And then exhale slowly, lowering the hand and lowering the knee, returning to table. And before repeating this balance on the other side, we'll pause in a puppy stretch. Again, keeping the hips lifted, slide the arms forward. Lower the forehead to the mat, to a block, or allow the head to hover. On your next inhalation, gently lifting out of puppy, returning to table. Preparing now to balance on the other leg. Spreading the fingers wide, pressing the palms into the mat, sensing the support of the earth beneath you. Lengthening through your spine. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. And now coming onto the other leg, extending your left leg back, bringing the ball of the foot to the mat, giving that leg a little shake. And now pressing out through the heel and rock forward and back. Keeping the spine long as you stretch and warm up the leg. And now coming to hold, pressing out through the heel, breathing. On your next inhalation, lifting the leg so that the heel is in line with the hip and circle the foot at the ankle. Moving in one direction, and now pause and reverse. And now come to stillness. Press the sole of the foot towards the wall behind you, activating that leg. Engage the core by drawing the navel in towards the spine. Keep the head and neck long, gazing at the floor in front of your mat. Keeping the mind calm and the breath flowing, come onto the fingertips of your right hand, walking that hand towards the front of your mat, and then lifting the arm to shoulder height. You can imagine that you're being gently pulled by the wrist and the ankle in opposite directions. And anytime you need a break, you can always lower the arm down and come in and out of the balance. And you're welcome to stay right here in this version. Or if you like, you could bend the back knee, take hold of the ankle, and extend the foot up towards the sky, giving a stretch to the quadricep. And now if you've taken hold of the foot behind you, releasing, extending that arm and leg long once again. And exhale, slowly lowering the hand and the knee back to the mat, return to table. Keep the hips lifted, slide the arms forward, moving into puppy once again. One more breath here. On your next inhalation, pressing back up to table position in preparation for downward facing dog. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, pressing into each fingertip and knuckle to distribute the weight. Keep a slight bend in the elbows so that the arms are not hyperextended. Bring the balls of the feet to the mat, draw a breath in, and then as you exhale, straightening the legs, sending the hips up high, beginning with the knees slightly bent, heels in the air, balls of the feet pressing into the mat. Press the tailbone up and back towards where the ceiling and the wall meet behind you. Pulling the shoulder blades down the back and aiming the crown of the head to the space between your hands. And now pedal out the legs, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel into the mat. And if you need a break at any time, you could lower the knees to the mat, coming into table or puppy, and then make your way back into downward dog as you're ready. And now pressing both heels into the mat. No worries if they don't reach. Lengthen and stretch through the entire back of the body. And now exhale, dropping the knees, lowering down to table. We'll release the wrists for a moment and then we'll come back into downward dog. So either coming to a kneeling position or sitting on the heels. Reach the arms overhead and make fists with the hands and spread the fingers wide. Releasing the fingers and the wrists. And now circling the wrists and fingers overhead. Pause and circle in the other direction. And now give the arms and hands a shake overhead and continue to shake out the arms and hands as you gradually lower the arms down by your sides. And relax the arms with the palms facing forward. Notice and receive any sensations, vibrations, feeling the release. And we'll return to table and downward dog once again. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, make your way into downward dog. From downward dog, we'll move into a three-legged dog, shifting the weight into your right leg. Extend your left leg up and back, reaching the sole of the foot into the sky. And now as you exhale, bend that knee in towards the chest and step the foot forward, dropping the back knee, coming into a low lunge. Front knee is bent in line with the ankle. Lift the chest, relax the shoulders, resting on the fingertips, palms, or perhaps blocks if you have them. On your next inhalation, straightening that front leg a little or a lot, and then exhaling, bending the knee, returning to the low lunge. And move back and forth, opening up the hip and stretching the leg. And returning to the low lunge. And pressing that foot into the floor, sensing the earth beneath you, getting grounded. From here, we'll lift up into crescent pose. Inhaling, bringing one hand at a time to the front knee and lifting the torso, bringing the hands to the hips. Draw the tailbone down, lengthening through the abdomen and the lower back, opening the chest and relaxing the shoulders. On your next inhalation, release the arms, lifting them up and overhead. Arms could be wide apart or closer together. And now flex the hands, pressing the fingertips back, giving a stretch to the wrists and forearms. Keep breathing deeply in and out through the nose, inviting the mind to focus on the breath, the sensations in your body at this moment in time. And one more full breath here. And now exhaling, lowering the hands down to the mat. We'll prepare to move into a twisting variation. So you can either bring the right hand flat to the floor or onto a block if you've got one. Bringing the left hand to the left hip and twisting towards your front knee. You could keep the hand on the hip or lower back for support, or perhaps reaching the arm up in the air. And you could stay here, or for a variation, you could come onto the ball of the back foot, straightening that leg, coming into a high lunge version. Choose what feels right for you. Keep breathing. And now exhaling, unwind, lowering the hand back to the mat, lowering the back knee to the floor if you've lifted it, and then stepping back into table. We'll pause in puppy before moving to the other side. So keeping the hips lifted, slide the arms forward, make your way into puppy. On your next inhalation, lifting back up to table. Preparing once again for downward facing dog. Draw a breath in, and as you exhale, make your way into downward dog. And preparing now for three-legged dog. Shifting your weight into your left leg. Inhaling, extending the right leg up in the air, reaching along through the leg, pressing out through the sole of the foot. Draw a breath in, and as you exhale, bending that knee in towards the chest and stepping that foot forward. Bending into the front knee and dropping the back knee, coming into low lunge on your other side. If you'd like, you could slide the back knee a little closer to the rear of your mat to deepen the stretch in the front of your left thigh. Lift the chest, relax the shoulders, coming onto the fingertips, or perhaps onto blocks if you have them. Now we'll bend and straighten the front leg. Inhaling, lifting the toes, straightening the leg a little or a lot, and then exhaling, bending into the knee. And moving back and forth with the breath. Welcome to close the eyes or keep a soft gaze. And if you notice the mind wandering, guide the mind back to this moment by focusing on the breath, focusing on the sensations in your body. And bend and straighten the leg once more. And then bending the knee, returning to your low lunge, preparing for crescent pose. So grounding through the front foot and the shin of the back leg. On your next inhalation, bring one hand at a time to the front thigh as you lift the torso, and then bring the hands to the hips. Draw down through the tailbone, press the thighs towards one another. Lengthening evenly through your abdomen and lower back. Broaden through the chest and relax the shoulders. Inhaling, reaching the arms overhead. Or you can bring the arms either lower, higher, closer together, or wider apart, flexing through the hands and pressing the fingertips back. One more full breath here in crescent pose. And now exhaling, lowering the hands down to the mat, preparing for the twist. So planting the left hand on the floor or on a block. The right hand comes to your right hip and twist in the direction of your front knee. Keep the hand either on the lower back, or if you like, extending the arm up in the air. You could stay here with the back knee on the floor, or if you like, coming onto the ball of the foot, straightening that back leg for a high lunge variation, your choice. Keep the head and neck in line with your spine, and keep the breath flowing in and out through your nose. You can always feel free to release a pose early at any time. You can hold for another full breath if you like. And now exhaling, slowly unwinding. If you lifted the back leg, return the knee to the floor and step back into table position. And now you can either move into puppy or into child. For child, the big toes come together, knees a little bit wider than hips width apart. Bringing the bottom to the heels. You could rest the forehead on the mat on a block, or you could place one hand on top of the other to rest the forehead. Relaxing into child pose, Garbhasana. Sensing your connection to the earth. Breathe deeply in and out through the nose, sending your breath into the back of the body. And now from child pose, making your way back, making your way into Sphinx pose. So sliding the arms forward, straightening the legs and coming onto the belly. So bringing the feet close together, tops of the feet pressing into the mat and engaging and activating the legs. Press the pubic bone towards the mat and pull the navel in towards the spine. Place the elbows directly underneath the shoulders and press the elbows towards the rib cage to open up the chest. Drawing the shoulders down and away from the ears. And lengthen through the head and the neck, keeping the head and neck in line with the spine as you gaze down towards the floor in front of your mat. You may wish to close the eyes or gaze softly. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. See where in your body you could relax and soften as you hold Sphinx pose. One more full breath here. And then exhale slowly, lowering down, placing one hand on top of the other to rest the forehead on your hands. Allow the legs and your body, spine to relax and soften. Give the hips a little wiggle from side to side, releasing the lower back. Letting that go and flipping over onto your back, coming to lie on your back with the knees bent, feet on the floor. Arms are resting by your sides, palms to the earth. Bring your awareness to the parts of your body that are in contact with the mat. Pressing into the feet, sensing your connection to the earth. Allowing yourself to feel grounded and supported. See if you could bring a little bit more of the upper back and shoulders in contact with the mat. Tucking the chin very slightly to keep the back of the neck long. We'll ease now into bridge pose or Setu Bandhasana. So arms are by your sides, palms to the mat. Walking the feet in as close to the bottom as is comfortable. Feet and knees are hip width apart. As you next inhale, lift the hips an inch or so away from the mat, and then exhale, slowly lower the hips back down. Again, inhale, lift the hips a little bit higher, and then exhale, lower down. Continue to lift and lower the hips. You like bringing them a little higher each time before lowering down to the floor. Gradually building strength and flexibility in your spine. Preparing your body to hold bridge posture. And you're always welcome to stay with the lifting and lowering or take a break. Or if you're ready to hold bridge, pressing into the feet, inhaling, lifting the hips. You might want to bring the hips so that they're in line with the shoulders and the knees. You could lift the hips a little bit higher, only if that feels comfortable. Avoiding strain. You're welcome to keep the hands resting by the sides, or if it's accessible, you can interlace the hands together, wiggling one shoulder blade at a time underneath you. So finding the version of bridge that feels comfortable for you to hold, whether you're lifting the hips a little or a lot. Notice the opening you've created in the torso and the belly. Breathing into this opening, creating spaciousness in the torso. Noticing the parts of your body that are working to sustain the posture. And now shift your attention to the parts of your body that could soften and relax within the holding. Relaxing the face. Keeping a softness in the belly to allow for a full, easy breath. You're always welcome to back off from the pose, move a little deeper, or release early and rest. If you like, holding the posture for one more full deep breath. And if you have clasped the hands together, releasing the hands and return one shoulder blade at a time to the mat. And then exhaling very slowly, lowering down through the upper back, through the rib cage, and gradually allowing the hips to find their way back to earth. Slide the feet a little further away from you. Bring the knees together to touch to allow the legs to relax. Turn the arms so that the palms are facing upward. Breathe naturally and notice the sensations of release. Being aware of what you're feeling in the body, mind, and breath in this very moment. And now bring the arms to T position at shoulder height. And bring the feet about as wide apart as your mat. And now drop the right knee down to the floor near the left foot. Inhaling, lifting the knee back up, right? And then exhale, bringing the other knee, dropping the knee in towards the other foot. Inhaling, lift up. Continue to drop one knee at a time towards the opposite corner of your mat. And you can stay here if you'd like to make the movements a little bit larger, dropping both knees to one side as you exhale. Inhale, lifting the knees back to center, and then exhale, dropping the knees to the other side. Invite the head and neck into the movement by turning the head in the opposite direction of the knees. And dropping the knees once more to each side. And returning to center with the knees pointing upward. And now one at a time, draw each knee in towards your chest. Taking hold of the knee or shin with each hand. Hugging the knees in to release the lower back. And you're welcome to hold here in stillness, or if you like, you could circle on the sacrum or rock the knees from side to side. If there's any other final posture, movement, or stretch that your body is calling for before relaxation, feel free to explore following the energy of your body and moving in any way that feels right for you. And bringing your movements to completion and preparing for relaxation, Shavasana. For Shavasana, you're welcome to lie on your side or on your back, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And if you're lying on your back, extending the legs and relaxing them. Placing the arms by your sides with the palms facing upward. See if you can bring a little bit more of the upper back and shoulders in contact with your mat. And then allow the body to soften. Allow the eyes to close. Releasing any breathing pattern and allow your breath to flow naturally and effortlessly. Bring your attention again to the parts of your body that are in contact with the mat. Releasing the weight of your body towards the earth. Imagine your body sinking down towards the earth as if you were lying in sand. Allowing yourself to feel safely supported by the earth beneath you. Feeling the stability of the earth and your connection. Invite your entire body to soften, relax, release. Inviting the mind to join your body in stillness. Allowing any distracting thoughts to drift and float away like clouds in the sky. Allowing your body and mind to rest in stillness. Receiving the benefits of your practice. Very gradually begin to deepen your breathing. Make some small movements with the fingers and the toes. Inviting in sensation as your awareness expands. Gradually reawakening from Shavasana. Returning to the safety and comfort of your own body. And now bending the knees one at a time, hugging the knees into the chest, and then rolling over onto your right side, coming to rest in a fetal position. Taking a moment here to acknowledge your efforts and dedication. And now pressing your hands into the mat and mindfully make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Sitting tall with the eyes remaining closed or soft gaze downward. Bringing the hands to prayer position in front of the heart and dropping the chin to the chest, coming into a gesture of gratitude. And bring your awareness to something or someone that you are grateful for in this moment. Notice what you're feeling when you direct your thoughts towards gratitude. Again, scanning the body, mind, and breath, being aware of how you are feeling right now as a result of your yoga practice. Reminding yourself that in this moment, all is well. And as you move throughout your day, I encourage you to return to the breath, return to the present moment where peace is always available. Om Shanti, peace. May the peace in our hearts bring peace into the world. Softly allow the eyes to open, lifting the gaze. Namaste. I honor the light in you.